Imagine this. You walk into a room and instantly the energy changes. You feel it. The eyes, the judgment, the silent, you don't belong here. Most of us have felt it at some point, but for some of us, that feeling is a constant weight. For those who are marginalized because of race, sexuality, gender, or identity, that weight can feel unbearable. But here's what no one tells you. You don't need their permission to take up space. You are not here to shrink. You are here to thrive. The system's built to silence us. Let's be real. The world wasn't built with us in mind. From classrooms to boardrooms, from laws to media, we see systems designed to keep certain people in power and others invisible. For minorities and the LGBTQIA plus community, this isn't new. We face laws that attack our existence, stereotypes that erase our stories, and microaggressions that chip away at our confidence. The system tells us, you're not enough, and sometimes we start to believe it. But here's the truth. The system is lying. Every time it tells you to shrink, it's because it's terrified of your power. The more it tries to erase you, the more proof there is of how much you matter. The power of authenticity. Now, I want to ask you something. When was the last time you looked at yourself, not through the lens of what society expects, but through the lens of who you really are? It's scary, isn't it? To strip away the masks, the defenses, the need to fit in. But that's where your power lives, in your authenticity. For years, I tried to be what others wanted. I downplayed my identity, muted my voice, dimmed my light. And then one day, I realized no matter how much I try to fit in, the world will still find ways to push me out. So why not live as my full, unapologetic self? Authenticity is resistance. Being yourself in a world that tells you to conform is an act of revolution. And when you embrace who you are, fully and unapologetically, you give others permission to do the same. Community is strength. Let me tell you something else. You're not in this alone. The beauty of being part of a marginalized community is that we know how to build family outside of blood. We know how to create spaces where love isn't conditional, where identity isn't a debate, where belonging isn't earned, it's given freely. Look around you. Your people are out there, online, in your city, in places you'd never expect. And when we come together, we're unstoppable. Movements are built on community. Change happens when we stand shoulder to shoulder and say, no more, turning pain into purpose. Let's talk about pain for a moment, because if you've been marginalized, you've felt it. The pain of rejection, the pain of being misunderstood, the pain of fighting battles no one else can see. But here's what I've learned. Pain is a terrible thing to waste. Every wound you've endured has the potential to be a weapon for change. Every scar is proof that you survived when the world thought you wouldn't. So use it. Use your pain to write, to speak, to create, to protest, to mentor. Your story has the power to heal, not just yourself, but others who feel alone in their struggles. Closing. You belong here. So here's the takeaway. You don't need to fit into their world because we're building a new one. One where diversity isn't a buzzword, but a foundation. One where love isn't limited, but infinite. One where your existence isn't up for debate, but celebrated as the gift it is. To every minority, to every queer person, to every individual who has been told they're too much or not enough, you belong here, you matter, and no system, no person, no prejudice can ever take that away from you. The question isn't whether you belong. The question is, are they ready for your power? And if they're not, well, that's their problem, isn't it? Now go out there and take up space. The world needs you.